This episode is brought to you in association with Timeform, your trusted source for racing data and analysis. By Total Performance Data, the world leader in thoroughbred performance technology, and by Fitzdares. Hi there, welcome to the show. It is Friday the 22nd of August. Here we are once again live on the Naves Mire for day 3 of the Sky Bet Ebor Festival. It is maybe a shade warmer than it was yesterday morning, but let's not get carried away. Still overcast, forecast to stay dry. We're out on the track. We're just by the winning post. I am with Timeform's Dan Barber today. Dan, good morning. Welcome to York.
Thank you for having me, Nick, although you didn't really, it wasn't your decision. There is something we will talk about in a second that is the cause of my appearance.
You know how much I always welcome your contributions to this show.
That's very kind. It means a lot.
There's some news that I need to furnish everybody with, and that is that James Doyle, Wathnan's retained rider, has been taken ill and stood down from his intended rides at York on Friday and Saturday, and we wish James well. That sounds like quite a nasty virus. He rode a stakes race double for Wathnan in Deauville last weekend. He was supposed to be partnering Night Raider today in the Nunthorpe, likely pace in that race, and French Master in the Ebor. They're two very good rides. Danny Tudhope will take the ride on Night Raider, and Rab Havlin, who knows French Master well from old when he was riding that horse for Philippa Cooper, will take the ride on French Master. I think Danny Tudhope is going to take a number of those James Doyle rides for Wathnan today, so it could be a big payday for our friend Chris Dixon, Danny's agent. But I hope the Doyler's all right.
Yeah, obviously that goes without saying. No idea what the issue is. Hopefully he's back on track shortly, but in his absence, it's an absolutely massive opportunity. With already having had a relationship, Danny Tudhope, with Night Raider, obviously going back.
Right, I've got another little bit of news for you that's come from your organisation. Though whether you were aware of it, I don't know.
Probably not.
I don't know. I probably should have got DJ, shouldn't I?
I think that's always the better option.
David Johnson, the flat editor.
Yeah.
Right, here we go. Press release has just dropped from the Timeform organisation. A 2-year-old has not won the Nunthorpe, the Coolmore Wootton Bassett Nunthorpe, today's feature race, since Kingsgate Native scored in 2007. But juveniles are far from at a disadvantage, according to the ratings experts from Timeform. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Just try to...
You can't find any, can you? 2-year-old colts and geldings received £22 from the 3-year-olds and £24 from the 4-year-olds, and that is supposed to account for their lack of physical maturity. However, this is a drum that's been beaten before. Timeform believes this weight for age allowance is too generous and that a concession of £16 would be fair. That is a big differential.
Yeah,
well, if that's the case, step forward Lady Iman and Spicy Marg, who both get another £3 on account of being fillies. So the 4-year-old geldings and colts carry 10 stone 1 today, and Marg and Lady Iman are on 8 stone 2.
Yeah, I think there is a caveat to it that you've got to have a 2-year-old of the right quality. Molecomb winner. He's probably borderline Lady Man. That's the way I view it. Think of the two that have gone closest most recently. Acapulco, who'd won at Royal Ascot the time before.
Yeah, and was built like a bull.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had, who was the most recent? We had one just touched on. Oh yeah, the Platinum Queen, who went on to win an Abbey later in the season. So you do have to be a top end 2-year-old, because the weight for age we do believe is overly generous. But to factor that in, what's harder to sort of reconcile with is how developed they are mentally and physically. The Platinum Queen was a real pro. Lady Iman seems a real pro.
Lady Iman's got a bit of heft. Yeah, that's the other thing. She's physically a bit more there and mature.
Did she have the star power, though, of a horse like the Platinum Queen, who still came second to Bradson?
Is she as fast as Spicy Mark, who won the race the Platinum Queen won as the exit race into this out of Goodwood?
Yeah, but ultimately, I think by highlighting the fact that we think it's overly generous, we hope it encourages more 2-year-olds and probably some top-end ones. That's not to dismiss the two today, but Spicy Marg has been beaten twice in lesser company, and Lady Man has been doing it primarily against her own sex until Goodwood. So the point stands whether today's result bears it out or not.
But there'll be a few people at Timeform Towers who will be steaming into these 2-year-olds in the belief that they are at a massive advantage, won't they?
Yeah, I'm sure there are people that will, because the amount of weight they get is overly generous. but you still got to have a top end 2-year-old.
You can't put out a big bombastic press release like that and not put your money where your mouth is, can you?
Well, not all 2-year-olds are alike, are they? Some are better than others. That's just the way it goes. That's the same with our
very, very Orwellian, that, isn't it?
Yeah, but we need, you do need, I think, a top ranking 2-year-old, as a Platinum Queen was, as Acapulco was, and they ran into top-notch sprinters, emerging with great credit in defeat. As I mentioned, like the Platinum Queen was winning an Abbey later in the campaign. That's the level she was at. So what we want in an ideal world would be them to win or go very close, and just encourage more trainers of really good 2-year-olds to have a crack in the future.
Have you got a fancy for today's race?
I was really taken by Saida Darian. I'm sure I'm not the only one.
So was Richard Hughes.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Well, he said that even in the aftermath of having won the July Cup, he seemed to be quite keen to point out that I think Noah Half Measures isn't quite as speedy as the filly. And whilst we've talked about this on the podcast a few times, whilst you've got to go back to Naval Crown for the last horse to win successive
Who was he?
Group 1s
what
in
did
the
he
sprinting
win?
division.
He won the Jubilee in the July Cup, did he?
The first...
Well, hang on, Highfield Princess won 3 on the spin, didn't she? But one was in England, one was in Ireland, one was in France.
I don't think she did it in succession.
She did. She
Definitely.
won the oh goodness me.
Flying Five?
The Maurice de Gist, the Nunthorpe, and the Flying Five.
What's the extra half furlong on that Maurice de Gist? I'm talking 5 and 6 here.
Oh, come on.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Come on.
That's like including 400-metre runners in the top sprinters of all time in the athletics.
Of course, everyone for years has called it the Maurice de Gist.
Yeah.
Which I have as well. Except I've now realised that the French call it the Maurice de Gist.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Well, I won't be
so
doing
for
that,
effect now, I insist on calling it the Maurice de Gist.
the John Maurice de Gist.
I've got another bit of frantic semantics for you in a minute. I'll come back to that. But first of all, I want to bring in Matty Sterling, who looks after us all here at York, because press people are high maintenance, very, very demanding, as they.
None that I know.
What?
None that I know.
And Matty's responsible for, well, you can tell everybody, Matty, what your role is here at York.
So I'm marketing and sponsorship manager here at York, as well as the press liaison on race days.
Okay, that is a big job, particularly in a week like this. You're looking remarkably well on it, given that we're now at day 3.
Yes, we are. So it's a 4-day festival, so it's great. Yeah, into day 3 now. We've had a good 2 days already.
Okay, so tell us through the year how much focus there is on these 4 days from your point of view, and selling the sponsorship and making sure this fixture is marketed properly.
Yeah, so we will start again on Tuesday to plan for next year already. It's great, and we're really lucky here that the sponsors of this week return most years, so it's really good. Sky Bet obviously are a massive sponsor here at York, our biggest all year, so for them to sponsor the whole festival, it's really great, and with the Juddmonte International being the world's best race this year, it really kicked up the ante right from January, when we had the presentation down in London.
And how long have you been here at York?
This is my 8th year now.
And how have you noticed it develop in the time that you've been here?
It's definitely much bigger now. I think we really are set now that the Sky Bet ABL Festival's worldwide. We've had Japanese broadcasters here this week, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, so we really have spread across the world now.
And yesterday we were chatting to Phil about the ops around the place and how big a day it was getting the royal visit. Yesterday, did that all go smoothly?
Yes, it went really smoothly yesterday. It was great to have our royal patron, the Majesty the Queen, here yesterday. Unfortunately, her runners didn't do as well as we hoped, but it was really great to see her getting involved, and she came up to present the Potemps Network Yorkshire Oaks trophy as well, so it was really good. Big crowd there to see her.
Brilliant. Matty, thanks so much. Enjoy the day.
Thank you very much.
Matty Sterling, who is marketing sponsorship here on the Naves. Myron, as she was saying, also looks after all the media liaison as well. It's a big job at a big track. And as she was saying, the fixture does grow in international standing as the years go by. We were talking about pronunciations. I was picked up yesterday after the Potemps Network Yorkshire Oaks.
Who should it be? Oaks?
No. Who won the race?
Oh God, I can't remember. Oh yeah, it was Minnie Hauk.
But was it Minnie Hauk, or was it Minnie Hauk?
As far as I'm concerned, it was Minnie Hauk, but evidently
right.
it was Minnie Hauk.
Well. So here's the thing. I was contacted on social media by, I presume, a gentleman who calls himself Pinzer.
Okay.
He was an operatic scholar. And,
another one.
Yeah, right. So, late 19th century opera star in America, but from a German family, called Minnie. Right. So that was her.
Minnie Hauk.
Minnie Hauk.
Oh.
Right, because she's from a German family, Minnie Hauk. And her name was originally Hauck. That's Hauk, isn't it?
I think that's one thing Kilmore have been doing us to years now. They've required you to be a bit of a worldly scholar, haven't you? Because they're prone to picking out names from the world of art.
Sue Magner is demanding greater erudition in people who study horse racing, and for my part, I believe that's a good thing.
I agree.
Dan.
I like stuff like that. It's the outside racing bubble where somebody shows a bit of, because we quite a lot of people who just are racing and nothing else, aren't they?
But so Minnie Hauk.
Right. From
That's
now on,
it's not going to catch on, is it?
From now on,
it's not going to catch on unless she wins a Group 1 in Germany next year.
Yeah, it could be.
That's not going to happen either. That's not going to happen either. That's not going to happen either. Right. This is how Minnie Hauk won.
This is Hauk, Minnie Hauk.
Won the Prudence Network Yorkshire Oaks. Here's Adam Mills from Total Performance Data.
First point to make about Minnie Hauk's victory in today's Yorkshire Oaks is the time. 2 minutes 26.67 seconds makes this the fourth fastest winning time in this race since 2005. Although we should point out that both Warm Heart and Snowfall went quicker in the last 5 years. Although we should also then give Minnie Hauk some credit and say that she was over 2 seconds quicker than Content was a year ago, and she ran a faster final 2 furlongs. Minnie Hauk was in fact the fastest horse in 3 of the last 4 furlongs, and even from the moment Estrange starts to get to her, she pulls out more. When we look at the comparison between the two, Minnie Hauk was the faster horse into stride at the start of the race, she had the longer stride length figure, and she had the highest top speed in the field of 4. Estrange probably didn't handle the ground as well as she might have done, but either way, Minnie Hauk is an exceptional 3-year-old filly.
That was Adam Mills from Total Performance Data telling us how Minnie Hauk, whatever you want, won the Prudence Network Yorkshire Oaks. It was another huge day for Clive Cox. And I've got Clive on the line now because he won the Harry's $500,000 again, this time with a horse who I think's got a big future. And who looked amazing in the paddock beforehand. Clive, you looked absolutely thrilled yesterday. How did it compare to your 2 previous wins in the race?
Well, both the previous 2 wins were exceptional. I never allowed myself to even dream that we could have netted another win of quite such magnitude with the prize money within 3 years. It was great team at home, and to produce horses like that on the day was very special indeed, and it means a whole lot.
And to what extent had that been the target from the moment he walked into the yard?
Well, I think, when you buy horses at that sale, you're trying to have a vision that it might be possible, but everybody does the same, and rightly so. But it's a Group 1 prize, Group 1 comparative. That was 334,000, I think, to the winner yesterday. So we're truly. We're over the moon. I'm thrilled for Midland Park, who are very consistent supporters of racing and a wonderful team of owners together. It's great when it all works out.
Yeah, I mean, looking at them all in the paddock, there's going to be varying levels of ability. You also know that there's going to be varying shapes and sizes. I mean, he did really stand out, and that's not after timing. He really looked in a completely different league, I thought. Does he strike you as a horse that's now going to be able to seamlessly graduate to pattern races?
Well, I really hope so. I mean, he's got to prove that, but he's well qualified for the Weatherby's Hamilton race at Doncaster, and he's in the Red Car Gold Trophy. Those sort of similar patterns of targets is what we've done with the horses from this direction before, and hopefully he can do that and proceed to better things as time goes on as well. As you've rightly pointed out, he's got that size, scope, got a wonderful temperament. Sergio Prokofiev is turning out regular winners and nice horses, so fingers crossed.
Clive, you could win the Nunthorpe today with Kerdos. He's not a name on everybody's lips, but should we take him seriously?
I think ideally, I keep hoping we might just get a bit of easier ground for him, but the ground's beautiful. He's riding really well. He's in excellent form, Nick. He's a horse that we still believe in. He's a Temple winner. So he's definitely not. He ran really well at Royal Ascot this year as well. He's in great nick, and I won't be surprised when it does fall into place. Whether it'll be today or not, we'll be trying our best anyway.
Clive, thanks so much. Well done yesterday.
Pleasure. Thanks, Nick.
Cheers, Clive. Thanks so much. That's Clive Cox, who was a winner of the Harry's $500,000 again. Chris Dixon's just dropped by for a chat. He's the busy man. He's the only man here at York earlier than the earlier than the ground staff. Hardest working man in racing.
I've got to be here early.
How are you getting on?
I'm not so bad. You?
Well, it's been it's James Doyle's misfortune. Looks as though it's your man's fortune. Poor old James.
Yeah.
But Wathnan released a statement now saying Danny's gonna ride Night Raider and probably pick up a few more along the way.
Yeah, he's riding the Wathnan runners here this afternoon. He's available for them. He's had to switch off from Newmarket to where he just had the one to do that, but it's closer to home, and obviously he knows Night Raider, having won on him in his earlier days when he was owned by Clipper, who obviously Danny had a retainer with for the past few seasons prior to this season, so it kind of all
sort of goes around, comes around job, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And look what happened in France the other week with Fallen Angel. An ex-Clipper horse that he'd had success on, and he managed to get on the right day again. So look, hopefully he has a good day.
Night Raider is one of those sort of wise guy horses that everyone fancies every time he runs now, but his form figures this season are 0.0006 or something, but he's still got loads of pace.
He has got loads of pace, and to be fair, I think at Goodwood he was away from them, wasn't he, in the end? He just looks like a horse that you look at his profile and you think he's a better horse on the all-weather, and he probably every chance that he is, but you can't help but look at him just because of how easy he goes through his races and think there could be a good race in him anywhere, and it's not like he's got no form on the turf, as I say. So it wouldn't be a shock. I'm a bit of an Arizona Blaze fan in that, as you know, from on the wing.
Well, James Willoughby sent me a message today saying he thinks this Arizona Blaze will just get the job done for Ammo Racing.
He'd know best.
Yeah, I saw David Egan last evening as well. He seemed quietly hopeful of a big run. I want to talk to you about the track.
Go on then.
And that's one of the reasons I wrangled you down here.
Yeah.
Because you and I have been working together on Racing TV this week, and we've been trying to follow the draw around a little bit and work out now where the best place to be is. And of course, you start off with the orthodoxy that where we're standing now, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see, where we're standing now is kind of where you want to be, which is about 4 or 5 off the fence, maybe a bit more.
Yeah.
6 or 7 off the fence, but sort of the far side of the middle, basically.
Yeah.
The ground is not that quick either.
No, it's not, and as you walk across the track, it all seems fairly level. But if you're just walking on foot, then it's not necessarily going to tell you everything anyway. The thing is with any sort of track bias or advantage, very small differences that I think are hard to tell can make a big difference. And just watching the racing so far this week, it's been clear that far rail hasn't really been where you'd want it to be. And if you go right back to the first race where Trefor beat the man, and it was a low-drawn sort of advantage race, nothing actually went right over there. But then what's happened as the racing's continued, because there's 2 more sprint handicaps, is everyone wants to be over there. So they steadily get pushed across, and the low-drawn horses end up right over there. And sort of the middle to high-drawn horses end up here, phone's going.
Get that phone. You can't. There's no way you can stop a jockey's agent picking up the phone. Yeah, he'll ride it.
Hi, Jeff.
Yeah, no problem.
You all right?
Yeah, you can have Danny.
Good.
Right. Well, Chris is taking the call.
Yes. Yeah, he's still available. Yeah.
Yeah, he's still available.
Yeah, I'll stick him down for you. All right. Thanks a lot. Ta, bye.
Do you enjoy it?
What, the jockey's agent?
Being a jockey agent?
Yeah.
You know how to use a microphone now. Just hold it there.
Yeah, I love it.
But I mean, do you find it straightforward to dovetail that in with all the rest of your work?
Yeah, because it's a different time of day, really. It kind of fits in. You just have to be organised and travel to places. That's why I'm in the press room before the ground staff are on site. Just be ready to answer the phone and get your work done. But
so who's on your books at the moment? Danny Tudhope,
Danny,
Kieran Fallon.
Kieran Fallon, yeah. Jason Watson, Kevin Stott, Joanna Mason Paytell, who's banned at the minute, Fred Larson.
Nick Daly sponsored Mason Paytell.
Exactly, yeah. Fred Larson, who's one of Mick Appleby's jockeys, and then young apprentice that's just getting going with David O'Mara, who's only had a couple of rides and he's sort of learning the ropes. So, well, he's only had literally a couple of rides. He was second on one the other day at Thirsk, so that's sort of the team. Hopefully I haven't forgotten any of them.
Yeah, well, it's a good job you haven't got much else going on in your life at the moment. How old's your youngest daughter?
12 days old.
12 days old,
yeah.
Father of 3, agent to the stars. broadcaster extraordinaire. Any horses in training?
Well, there's a few in the syndicate, isn't there?
What's Old Intervention going to do next, the Grace and Wilfred winner?
He runs on Sunday.
Does he?
Declared him this morning. Race is cutting up nicely. So, fingers crossed that works out. You
actually are putting a jockey on as we're speaking?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Multitasking is extraordinary. Right, I'm going to just bring Dan in again quickly while you do that. Go and put your jockey on.
I'll be professional, don't you worry.
Dan's back with me because Timeform are pioneering a brand new interactive race card today. And if you are watching with us on YouTube, you'll be able to see it on the screen now. It's quite something. Tell me a little bit about the development of it and what added features punters can enjoy.
Yeah, well, it's called the Quick Card, and it's a means really via market research that we've done that to try and engage the social visitor to the racecourse, maybe the once or twice a year. They may be there for a concert after racing primarily, but with the hope that you've got a lot of potentially floating voters there who, by giving them a more inclusive experience of a race card, will encourage them to come back. And indeed, we trialled it at 10 fixtures last season. It was Timeform's idea initially, but it's really picked up a bit of momentum. Jockey Club are behind it, Weatherby's, RCA, York itself, Flutter of course, and the aim is to, because we appreciate it, for us it's great. I was saying this to Chris earlier, when we first got into racing, however many years ago it was, we were really motivated by that detailed race card. We wanted to solve the puzzle, but we'd be in the minority, I think, and the idea is that if you can go in at a slightly simplified level with a race card, so people have the choice on track.
But here's the thing, I don't see, you're using your levels of sophistication and adapting those to something that is quite easy to access, but it's not necessarily simple in terms of the sophistication of the content. I.e., you're using good methodology to provide information, but you're just presenting it in a more accessible way.
Yeah, well, we say
I've expressed myself incredibly badly there, but it reminded you what it reminded me of when I looked at it. It reminded me of the remote terminals you get in Hong Kong when you now go and you press the name of the horse and it brings up all this information about that. Yeah. About ground preferences and track and all the rest of it.
And as you know, with Timeform, it's every horse, every race, every day in Britain and Ireland. And so it's still tapping into that expertise that's been going since 1948. And I think that's why, and it's just a simplified version. There were three words, everyone loves a triple string. Clarity, consistency and context, without turning it to marketing.
Context is the most important one, isn't it?
Yeah, but I also think consistency as well, people knowing what they're going to get as they arrive on track. And clarity, because we know what hung right and hung left means, and we know what a horse wearing eye shields means, and we know what it means if a horse doesn't go through with his effort. But if you've never been to the races before, it's not like football, which is almost universal. People won't have a clue about that. So it's an attempt from us in troubling times and difficult times for the industry to try and attract people and get people to come back. And from the trials and from the surveys we did, over 1,000 people surveyed across the 10 meetings, there was a direct correlation, an increase in engagement, whether that be betting or otherwise, and also an increased intention to be a return race goer if the chance arose. So we're really hopeful about it, and we're better placed to launch it. Timeform, founded in Yorkshire, in Halifax, 1948. Phil Bull was, of course, the man behind that. Timeform Charity Day was a huge part of York for so many years with Reg Griffin, Jim McGrath. It's a premier race day in every sense of the word, Ebor Festival, and there'll be 5,000 of these quick cards on track. Apparently 20,000 are expected tomorrow. The race cards, the quick cards, will be positioned at certain points where we think it's more likely that a casual race goer might reside, and hopefully they see them, back a couple of winners. Just a couple of twists, they're only minor things, but we're not dealing in saddlecloth order. That's probably an irrelevance to a lot of people. We're dealing in the horse we think's got the best chance. There's an expert shortlist, and then there's 3 points, positive or negative, as a summary of each horse.
Got it. That's fantastic, Dan. Thank you very much. Are you gonna? I see Neil Phillips has approached, which suggests to me that there's some kind of
dairy on toast
approaching, or dairy on toast, or something.
There is.
What are we doing, Neil?
We're we're gonna go and taste.
Chris is back.
Three wines. You ready for this?
I don't know if I was part of this, but Chris, do you want some booze?
Well, it looks like you are now.
You are. You're going to be part of this now.
Whether
So we're going
like
to go
it or
to
not.
the Edwardian weighing room. We're going to meet the guy from House of
Well, we'll go and do that over the way.
Yeah.
All right.
See you in a
Okay.
bit.
We'll follow you in a sec.
Yeah,
Give me
sure.
1 sec. Right. We're going to make our way over the track in a minute. But of course, yesterday was a royal visit, as you heard from Matty earlier on in the show. A very appropriately named winner then of the Lowther Stakes, Royal Fixation. And I'm checking in now with George Gill, who runs Opulence Thoroughbreds. What a massive day for that syndicate. And if you missed it, the noise was quite something in the winners' enclosure afterwards. We're gonna compete with a daily PA test here, George. But if you make the same sort of noise as you did yesterday, we'll be absolutely fine. You're looking incredibly well this morning as well, considering.
Thank you. Not feeling great. A bit champagne head this morning, but buzzing. The adrenaline's still flowing through the body. So yeah, amazing day yesterday. Just a dream come true, and Ed Walker's done an amazing job with that filly. And to be fair, he told me in probably January or February he could have another Celandine on his hands with Royal Fixation, and he was very right. So yeah, just an amazing day. This is what we do it for. So brilliant.
So you bought her at Tattersalls. Just remind me which book and for how much?
Book 1, 180,000 guineas. I think, probably the median price was over 200 at book 1, but people went a little bit quiet on Palace Pier. And obviously Palace Pier's had a great year this year and the first group winner with Royal Fixation, but she was a great physical. Ed loved her at the Sale, and she's from a very speedy family, so we was very pleased to buy her at that price at the time, and it's paid dividends now.
It surely has. I mean, she was very impressive yesterday in what looked a strong race. Richard Hughes was with us this time yesterday. He was really talking up the chances of America Queen, and the pair of them were nicely clear. Is it just bowl on to the Cheveley Park now?
Straight to the Cheveley Park. William Butte was very adamant to go straight to the Cheveley Park. Said she's got bundles of speed, no need to step her up in trip at the moment. And yeah, based off yesterday, I'd be very going in trip 1 with her.
And tell me a little bit about the sort of development of Opulence Thoroughbreds. I mean, the clue's in the name. You want to play at a fairly high end and attract a certain clientele. You've got the lovely colours that you've designed as well. How has it developed through the last couple of years?
Yeah, so that's exactly what we did, Nick. We chose a set of colours that we thought would be recognisable on the race course, and we need horses like this to get them seen on the telly and seen in a competitive market. But we're trying to buy the best pedigree we can, and we're always trying to improve the standard of horse we buy. We're trying to work with the best trainers possible and just try and do something a little bit different and be a little bit more personable, but still take away all the administration that someone would have to, do to own their own horse outright. So, we're just trying to play at the top end of the game where everyone wants to be. And a lot of people want to buy part of a horse that's 180,000 guineas, but not own the whole horse in its entirety. So that's what we're trying to offer.
George, thanks so much for agreeing to take the call this morning. All the best. We'll see you later.
Thank you. Cheers, Nick.
Brilliant. That's George Gill from Opulence Thoroughbreds. Thanks to him. Well done to all of them with Royal Fixation yesterday. We'll go and get some wine. All right, but before all that, quickly, let's get a word from our friends at Fitzdares today on what's happening in the markets.
Rolled around, it's all about one thing, and that is the sprinters. We've got the Group 1 Nunthorpe Stakes today, and leading the market is Lady Iman at 9-2. She's stepping out of juvenile company for the first time here, but she's getting tons of weight off the rest of the field, as well as sex and age allowance. It's a bold move from Jer Lyons. We'll see how she gets on here. Next in is Asphora, the Aussie Raider. 5 years her senior. She's hit the crossbar a couple of times on her European travels, but she should go well here at 7-1. Now, one we've laid is Magira. She was fancied to go well at Royal Ascot before being withdrawn late on, and she is one we will be hoping to get beat. Others to look out for on the card tomorrow would be Trawlerman in the Lonsdale Cup, absolute store for the Gosden Yard, and we think he could just have a little bit too much quality here for the rest of the field before going on to bigger and better targets in the autumn. For all your bets, head to Fitzdares.com. We are paying extra places in 3 of the 7 races tomorrow, including in the Nunthorpe Stakes, so good luck, whatever you fancy. Thanks, Nick.
All right, so you're well up to speed now, and we round off today. If you're not watching us on YouTube and you're wondering whether I've just walked into a loo or whatever, I haven't. It's a bit echoey because I'm in the old Victorian weighing room here at York alongside Neil Phillips, who's chuckling away. David Archibald is here from the House of Townend, and Dan is with us as well, and we're going to taste some wine. So, David, what do we got here?
Okay, first of all, we've got a Chablis.
I like it.
Chablis Marronnier from the very, very heart of Chablis. Lovely, fresh, mineral, really, really clean and ripe. Uses natural yeast, really low intervention, and hopefully you'll agree, delicious glass of Chablis.
Well, it's not a hard sell to me, as Neil knows.
No, it's family owned. They bought the estate in 2013. The vines were actually planted back in 1976, so really, really low yielding and lovely concentration of fruit.
Mm-hmm. And it's not too sharp either.
No, it's got that lovely rounded, sort of appley fruit to it.
Got to say, Nick was absolutely delighted when he first thought we were actually going to have some Chardonnay, weren't you, Nick?
I was, yeah.
And I really like this Chardonnay. Dan, how you doing? You like this?
Yeah, this is a lifetime's ambition for me.
What?
Drinking
at this time of
grog at this time in the morning with you two.
Probably not the most noble aspiration, but the wine's very good. Now, David, moving on.
Okay, so next we've got a Gavi. This comes from right up in the very northwest of Italy. 100% Cortese grape. They age the wine, they ferment it very, very slowly. It takes about 50 days to ferment. Once fermented, they leave it on the lees to add a bit of richness and structure to the wine, and give it that lovely sort of rounded character. Nice lemony, citrusy nose, and then a much more rounded palate.
Dan Barber's coming in here. Dan, give us your view.
I preferred the Chablis.
And why is that?
Because it tasted better. What other reason would you prefer?
I just do. It's perfectly fine. Yeah.
All Dan's personal opinion. The producer is Garibaldi. They're a fourth generation family-owned producer. So much like ourselves, we like to work and ship with family-owned producers and the smaller sort of quality-driven end of the wine world.
But it's going to get potential. I'd say I preferred it was slightly more citrusy, I thought, the first one.
Oh, okay.
Is that not true?
No, this is more citrusy.
I like the Gavi. I like the Gavi as well.
And the red we've got today,
Okay,
David.
So finally, this is one that's very personal to me. Found this wine about 3 years ago on a buying trip down in Languedoc in the south east of France. Tasted it from the tank. So it was a wine without a name and without a label.
Really?
So we loved the wine, thought we've got to have it, but needed to come up with a label. A couple of months later, we'd not come up with anything too inspiring, and I was on a morning jog with a friend. We'd got to the top of a hill, a bit out of breath, stopped for a breather in front of a field of cattle and looked at them and saw that it was this beautiful belted Galloway. So once I got back home into the office, sat at my laptop having a little think about the morning run, remembering these beautiful cows, and thought, hang on, that's going to work on the front of a wine label. And so the Big Belty was born. Wow. And it's gone on to be a terrific success for us.
Nice story, David. I like it.
100% Cabernet Sauvignon. About a third of it is aged in American oak, so it gives it that lovely toasty, sort of oaky character. Nice chocolatey notes, nice and round and soft.
I really like that. Come on, Dan. Full tasting note.
I'd give that an 8 out of 10. Is that okay? I do really like that.
David, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And all the best for a terrific rest of the week here at York. It's David Archibald from the House of Townend. Neil, thank you very much.
Pleasure, Nick. That was great.
And Dan, thank you. And all you've got to do is send us home with today's winner, please.
Well, how about we trust a maiden to win the gym crack?
Do or do not?
Yeah, I feel like the fact we're dealing with a maiden is going to allow us a bigger price than we should get. Cheap pieces to sharpen, that'll do for me.
Okay, do or do not in the gym crack for Dan. I will need quite a bit of what we've just been tasting, I think, before I embark on my skydive. Why are you widening your eyes like that? You weren't expecting that.
It felt like a marketing opportunity for Sky Bet to try and get in the middle.
No. Well, I don't know if they want to join in as a sponsor, they can. On my Just Giving page, I put it on all our socials. I'm doing a skydive on the 14th of September.
How are you feeling about that, Nick?
No, I don't want to do it at all. I have no desire to do it at all. Hurl myself out of a plane from 15,000 feet. But my late mother's best friend said to me for her 80th birthday, she wanted to do another skydive because she said it was the best fun she could have with her clothes on. You can tell she's a sprightly 80-year-old. And she wanted to do it for the Cystic Fibrosis Trust because my daughter has cystic fibrosis. So she said, do you know anyone who would like to do it with me? I mean, I didn't have a choice, did I? So there we go. So if you'd like to donate, I'd be very grateful. And the link is, or the Just Giving link is on all the socials.
Well,
there you are.
Exactly.
And that is one of only about 15 times I'll promote it between now and September.
Keep promoting.
Unapologetically. Thank you very much for watching/listening today. We will be back to do it again tomorrow. We've got a full episode for you tomorrow, Saturday. We're about to be beaten by the public address system. That's it. We're out. Good night. Thank you. You've been listening to Nick Luck Daily. This episode has been brought to you in association with Timeform, your trusted source for racing data and analysis, by Total Performance Data, the world leader in thoroughbred performance technology, and by Fitzdares.